Welcome to Two Bottles Deep. We're a podcast where we venture into the world armed with humor, sarcasm, and a willingness to admit when we're wrong. Well, most of the time.
And our goal is to have open and honest conversations while we discuss topics that affect us as humans and as gay men.
And thank you so much for listening. And now it's time to get Two Bottles Deep. Hello, Wes.
Phil,
How are you, babe?
I has survived PM, Pride Month.
Oh, I was like PM.
Yes.
You did. So we both survived Pride Month,
Barely.
babe.
Then I just went into a full week of nonstop meeting. It's like it just kept going, and I didn't get rest. And I walked into work yesterday, and the receptionist, Tay-Tay.
She said you look tired.
I think her name's Taylor or Denise, but I call her Tay-Tay. She said, "Oh, you look really tired." And I was feeling great, minus the sinus congestion we have going on here. Yeah.
Anytime anybody tells me I look tired for the next 3 hours, I'm convinced. I'm like walking by mirrors. I'm like, I must look like a vampire out here.
I've never seen you look tired.
It's a lot of makeup.
It's makeup.
Yeah, a ton of makeup.
Under eye stuff.
Yeah. No, I do look tired, but I think my skin's so pale sometimes it's hard to tell if I have bags or is it just translucent.
I've been buying all that under eye cream stuff.
I've got these
to moisturize.
I've got these little patches that I put under my eye that I leave them on twice as long because in my mind it fixes it better. It recommends 10 to 12 minutes, and last time I left it on 30.
You slept in them, and
I was like, I look 8 years old. Like it was like it really worked. It really tightens up underneath, but it only lasts for an hour.
So I see the Real Housewives putting those on as they're getting ready for the reunions. I didn't know how well those work.
I think this one works really well. I don't remember the brand, but it works great. But yes, we survived Pride here in Nashville. It's quite a bit going on. First off, we have a rainbow crosswalk now in Nashville.
The first one in Nashville.
Rainbow crosswalk.
And where's that going?
It's going to be at 14th Street and Woodland. And so it's not like smack downtown. I think people were thinking it's like the cross streets of like Broadway, in Second or something. No. 14th and Woodland. But yeah, we have a rainbow sidewalk now.
I'm excited. I saw the news thing. I knew it was going in East Nashville somewhere. One of the news stations put the article out on Facebook.
Okay.
So I obviously went down to the comments because I saw immediately 183 comments.
Can I guess what they were?
Go ahead.
I wish this was done sooner. I think everybody needs a rainbow crosswalk.
No. There were a lot of pro.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't read all of them, but the majority were similar to, well, they're taking over, or, well, there goes our tax dollars, which I think is funny because when you read the article and don't use it as clickbait, you actually read in there that they need volunteers to get it done. So there's zero tax money going in. And even if they bought the paint, you're maybe out $250.
Yeah. I heard one guy saying, we got enough potholes in here. Won't we spend our money fixing potholes? I'm like, I don't think that's the same thing. Fixing potholes cost money. Volunteers painting a rainbow flag across a crosswalk, $0.
And I think that's why hopefully our work is important to bring people together, to bring the facts together, rather than just hating on an entire group community because of a few colors that are going to be on a street that Jim Bob may not even drive by. And
also, if you drive past it, nothing happens. You don't turn gay. There's nothing. There's nobody trying to, touch you inappropriately or groom you. It's just paint on the road.
Grooming. That and woke are the right's just favorite words now because everything is great. You could be gay and look at someone.
Grooming.
You're grooming them.
Yeah, based on them, I think they assume that gay guys are just walking around the world literally with a pen and paper, and they're like, who am I going to groom next? Where's my next person that I'm going to groom?
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
yeah, I got a list. I mean, Bradley Cooper's on there, but that's about it.
I'd like to groom him. Yeah, he's groomable.
I think because I have a lot of straight friends that go to Pride in all the cities they live in. I don't know. This may come as a shock. I don't know one of them that has turned gay.
I know one that I wish was.
No, they go, they have fun.
Yeah.
I did a few of the festivities this year. Didn't do all of them because Nashville, which I think is great, they have so many activities in so many parts of town.
Yeah.
It's not like it's here's your one option for Pride, go to this park and it's over. It is literally spread through this city. And I just remember feeling so happy. My parents called on that Saturday, and I was just so happy.
Yeah. I agree with you. The nice thing too with Pride is that you can do as little or as much as you want. Like you could do all the stages, all the performances, all the parties. That would be exhausting, but you could do that. Or you could find one quiet little venue that if you just wanted to do something small for Pride, you don't have to do the whole, you don't have to buy a ticket for the entire Pride event. But it, we were talking 2 or 3 episodes ago when we talked about getting ready for Pride, just the meaning behind Pride and why it's so important. And I still think that I'm even more convinced that we need Pride, even after what you and I experienced, how much happiness and joy we had. But thinking about those people who don't get to experience that, and just a few examples of people who are trying to celebrate Pride in other areas in Bangladesh, which if you don't know that, I did have to look up exactly where that was. I knew it was near India, but yeah, it's right beside India. It's a country right beside India. And homosexuality is a crime because of some colonial era laws that call it an unnatural offense to be with another man. So they have secret virtual pride parties. So they have to get on these private servers, and LGBTQ members hang out on like a Zoom call for Pride. I mean,
it's just a secretive.
I just envision they're like
America.
under a blanket, just like, happy Pride, everybody.
I'm so proud.
I mean, it's so unfortunate.
Wow.
I'm glad that they can at least do that. I mean, homosexuality is still illegal in 64 nations across the world. So, and then the first openly trans politician in Russia, she was forced to detransition, or they were going to put her in a psychiatric facility for extensive treatments. So
I have a lot of questions about that. Did she transition in Russia, or similar to some of the people that we've talked to? The one on the show went to another country to transition and then came back.
Good question.
So I wonder if
I bet they're not doing a ton of transitioning in Russia.
It's probably not.
No.
So I'm on that men's group, Gay Men's Collective, and they have Zoom calls weekly. It's a great way to connect. We have great conversations. It's super wonderful. And there are people around the world that have joined this, and they'll be up. I mean, it's 8:00 at night here, and it's like 3 a.m. over. There's one guy in Ghana, and that's somewhere in Africa. I believe a state in Africa. Or are they countries?
A country.
So it's funny because here they're states, over there they're different countries, but they're all connected.
Isn't that
crazy? Why are you laughing then?
Well, you said that's funny. So.
But anyway, he's there. So when you just said that about people being on this Zoom and quiet, he is. I don't know if he lives alone or if has roommates or maybe lives with his family. You can tell on the Zoom he is in his bedroom, lamp on, and just intently listening and providing feedback to the group. And he has the same feelings we have. He has the same concerns we have. He fears for his safety. We fear for our safety less in America, of course, but it's just so interesting to connect with someone across the world and have so much in common.
Is it with that, or is it like the video is always on and people just jump on whenever? Is it just like an open chat room where people get on?
No, it's a
scheduled.
It's a scheduled call.
Okay.
Yeah, it started as a book club during the pandemic, and I think I had mentioned this before.
You did.
So it has just grown, and now he's formulated, since the book club is over, he's formulated this thing called Gay Men's Collective. And there's a few guys in Canada that have Gay Men's something, but it's a similar thing where you get emails and there's book clubs, and it's just a way to build community. And there's so many people on the calls that have no gay friends because of where they live.
Yeah. And
they're afraid to be out of where they live. So it gives them that opportunity. And that's why I think it's important for Pride. People still ask, I do ask why we have a Pride Month. I think, and I don't want to say we don't need a month. I was just curious, because here it's like a Pride weekend,
Yeah.
and we really only celebrate that weekend. There's different stuff throughout the week leading up to that Pride Saturday and Sunday, but it's so important to have Pride and celebrate and feel the love and see the straight allies there.
Yeah.
There's just such a great mix. And I wish people could see that and not hate as much like I used to do.
Yeah.
About even our own community.
Well, I think part of it is going and seeing what Pride's about. And the other is checking your not attitude, but you may have preconceived notions of what Pride is. And when you go, that might confirm those notions or it might change your view. I think a lot of people don't allow themselves to kind of show up at Pride open-minded. Not a lot of people, but the people who are like, I don't know if I want to go or not. If you showed up at Pride and you had this kind of negative attitude towards it, it's probably going to stay negative. You're going to find all the things you don't like. It's too hot. They're wearing a jock strap. I don't like drag queens. Those are the things. There's a furry. But instead of showing up and being like, this is an interesting event. Okay, let me see what this is all about.
But these are the same people that are so negative towards our community that go to New Orleans for Mardi Gras and have a great time because it fits their narrative. And there's nothing wrong with going to Mardi Gras, having a good time. I think it's inappropriate. So I understand where they think maybe a Pride parade is inappropriate. And maybe it's just inappropriate for me.
Yeah.
So I've never been to New Orleans. I have zero desire to go. But
really,
now, I want to go and like check out the food and the historical stuff and the cemeteries. I mean, there's a lot of history there. I've just never, even when I was a partier, I'm like, Bourbon Street is way too much for me.
Bourbon Street's
I just can't do it. But my point is, it's the same people that say, gays, the LGBTQIA community, you can't do this, but we're going to have our Harley festivals. We're going to have the Renaissance festivals. We're going to have the Labor Day festivals. We're going to have Mardi Gras, but you guys can't do that.
Yeah.
So think about that too. We met so many people that they had their kids at Pride. Again, there's no grooming. They're teaching their kids just to accept everyone.
Yeah.
And also you can make your own decisions.
Yeah.
About whatever the hell you want to do. Right.
Well, I'd love to kind of do a review of that day for us, because that was, that Saturday was probably one of the best days I've had in a long time for many reasons. But leading up to that, so as you know, Wes and I, Two Bottles Deep had a spot in the parade. And so we were trying to figure out what we needed to do to like be seen and be heard and advertise. So we decided to do these bubble letters, 4-foot tall bubble letters that went from like this idea to this just absurd project that took so much longer than anybody should have ever spent on it. But it's just because we're not good at this. But thank God for Jesse. Jesse showed up.
Thank you,
and
Jesse.
Elena showed up, and Elena's boyfriend, Jesse. So there's straight Jesse and gay Jesse, in case you're wondering. So we had straight and gay Jessies and Elena, and put this stuff together. And the letters turned out so cool.
So much fun.
Love that. And then, of course, Saturday morning, we had to line up at
so 8:45, 9 o'clock. We had to load in. The parade started at 10 that Saturday. And here in Nashville, if you've been to Nashville, the parade goes down Broadway. So the country is straight in America.
Yep.
The parade went down, and it's been on Broadway. It was there many years ago. They moved it, brought it back, let's say 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And it keeps growing every year. So we wanted to stand out. So thank you, Thomas and Lisa. They provided their jacked up black on black Chevy Silverado.
Perfect.
Oh, it was a gorgeous. We were standing in the back. We had Sander and someone else passing out waters. Yeah. They were on the tailgate.
Alicia was there.
Oh yeah. And then, and again, you had gay Jesse, Elena, and Brett. Thank you, Brett. Brett came from out of state to walk with us and celebrate. It was his birthday. So happy belated, Brett. But we just standing there getting ready for the parade. So the staging was at 8:45.
Yes.
Our marchers showed up at 9:30. Parade started at 10. What time did we start marching?
4:50.
It was
at least.
It was a lot.
We were probably standing for 2 hours and 15, 20 minutes. Then it's 122 degrees. So thankfully we had, well, you brought some waters and stuff. So, but everybody was good. I mean, there was a little bit of how much longer. People kept coming up to me like, what number are we? Where are we? I'm like, I don't know. I'm literally just here in the parade with you. I don't know what's
We
going
were
on.
near the end of the parade.
Y'all, there were
We're the-
157 groups that were marching in the parade. 2 bottles deep was apparently the Santa Claus of the parade. We were 156, and the only people behind us was a radio station, like
92Q.
92Q, who was in a car wrapped with 92Q with no music playing, silent, driving behind Jesse, Elena, and Brett.
Meanwhile, we're in a jacked up Chevy with speakers on it, blowing out Pride music, and everybody
Remember the bubbles?
the bubble machines, and everybody
Sandra
had balloons. Sandra and the bubble machine, and then there was this little kid that just started running towards this truck that we're in, and the mom stopped the little kid because she's like, "Oh, he likes bubbles." So we had the bubble machine going. I mean, 20-something thousand people at the parade at least. It was hot. So we were near the end, obviously, as the parade got going. We were just sitting there and just waiting, and we all had fun. But I remember standing there just feeling the love because we had friends come from all over. Your brother, sister-in-law, niece, and nephew were there, and that like warmed my heart to know your family was there. And just walking, and we were all having a good time. And then the parade lasted about 12 minutes. Once we got going,
it seemed like it was so fast.
Similar to a ride at Disney. You wait, you wait, and then it's over.
I was like, can we do one more loop? Can we just do? But
go back
they were like,
around?
no, you're the last. Like you're done.
Marching bands were in the parade.
2 marching bands. I love marching bands in a parade.
Yeah.
There is nothing that's going to get me hype like a marching band in a drum section.
That's just a classic American marching band parade staple. The Grand Marshal.
Yeah, well, there were several. I mean, Brooke Eden was the honorary one. I cannot remember the names right off of those that.
Olivia Ruth Hill was last year.
Yeah.
But
I can't remember who was the Grand Marshal, but
there was
Brooke Eden was there.
Brooke Eden. Yeah, it was great. We saw some furries. A little warm for the little costume.
Really bad for the furries, only because I was dying and they were inside a actual fursuit. Like, how is this happening? Surely they have air conditioning.
Maybe they have like a fan or something.
I mean, they spend enough on these suits. Remember the furry episode we did? How expensive these suits?
$7,000 at least.
You better have built-in air conditioning.
I wonder if Big Bird had that.
I doubt it initially, but
because
I bet
between
like sets and stuff, he just took his hat, took the head off and breathed.
Yeah, it's crazy. I just felt the warmth, the happiness. As we're in the truck looking down, we saw friends on the parade route. There were so many people, and then all the bars were lined with people on every level of the bar. So it was fun just looking around, and people were waving back. Everybody saying Happy Pride. People are throwing beads and holding up like the little heart thing with their hands like T Swift does. We saw the Free Mom Hugs group off to the right by Bridgestone. So it was fun. Then I got a few messages on Instagram we'd posted. People are like, y'all look great up there. We love the show. And that was just to know that hopefully we're making a difference. And the mailbags too, y'all make a difference. I think it's just full circle.
Yeah. I think for me, the most memorable moment was when you crest the hill right before 5th and Broad. There's a moment where as you're coming up, you can't see down Broadway, and then you slowly crest and you can look down and see the whole length of Broadway, the river, Titan Stadium. It's just Nashville, like pure Nashville. And then to think it's 2 gay guys in the back of an F-150, bubbles everywhere. We've got 40-something people behind us marching. Elena, Jesse, and Brett are carrying these massive letters that say TBD. It was just like the perfect combination of everything that we've worked for. It felt like, and I was like, this is the coolest moment I have experienced in a long time. And you and I talked about that, about how the night before, Wes and I were like, we got to be intentional about this. Like, we don't want to, it's so easy to get caught up in the excitement and to just let it rush through, but like to really be present during the parade. And I mean, I think I was very, very present, but also it rushed so quickly that I just felt this sense of like, oh gosh, it's done. Like I want to,
Yeah.
and it wasn't even about the fact that, we were in a parade on a float waving at people. It wasn't about that piece. It was just, you could feel the love, the support. People were recognizing us, which is, it's nice. I mean, we've worked hard for 4 years to be recognized, in this community and getting noticed. I did try one tactic in the parade that I introduced to Wes when we were getting started. And I was like, we need to be waving and pointing at people. So I suggested that we point at fake parade goers, point at them and wave so that it looks like we know a bunch of people.
God, it works.
So there's
well.
a few videos that all you see is Wes is, doing the typical parade wave, and I'm violently pointing at people and look at that wave, look at her wave.
It's like you tap me on the shoulder and then get my attention, and we both wave. Yeah.
I'm not sure what I thought that would accomplish, but
there was that one I remember tapping you. I'm like, look, because it was at the top of Tootsie's. One guy up there had a little pride
I remember
flag.
him.
We're just
he was all alone
like,
up there.
Hey, Dave. We don't know who it was. Mm-hmm. It was so much fun. People along that route, I wanted it to last forever.
Yeah,
because people were laughing. They could be laughing at us. I don't know why
they
were laughing. And it was just one thing, we wanted great music. Yep. And Thomas has this speaker system in his jacked up truck. And then he put speakers on the outside, I think, for us. Let's go with that.
I don't care why. I loved it.
And it was so much fun. And as the float just moved down, the crowds of people, you can even see the sidewalks. There were so many people. And then everybody was just dancing and having a good time. And that was our main goal, is just to spread love, life, and joy. Then we went to Garth Brooks, who's a big ally.
Friends in Low Places.
Friends in Low Places bar. Went to the rooftop. There were some friends up there and some other parade goers that were up there. And it was just so much fun.
Yeah. Low Places was fun. That was a great idea
for a while.
Yeah. We kind of took over the first level when we got there and realized we were blocking everybody trying to come in. But upstairs was great. And like you said, people from different, that weren't there with us were coming over and talking. And it was just a great, great day.
Yeah. And to know that some of my coworkers from 7 years ago, Annie, Sarah, Allie, oh my gosh, so many. I'm just trying to think of we had so many people with us that it just warmed my heart. Erica was there. It just warmed my heart. I just didn't want the day to end because we were having so much fun.
Yeah.
It was like a reunion of sorts as well. And we just laughed, had a great time. And I think that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
It's just loving your community. We're built for community. We're built for friendship. We're built for love. And we were all together, and I just didn't want that day to end.
Well, and I know I can't remember everybody that helped us and that, showed up. So just know that Wes and I are extremely grateful for everybody. Jesse, Brett, and Elena, who carried 8-foot tall letters in scorching heat, never complained about anything. Although Elena, I did look back at one point, Elena had dropped the tea. And I just looked at Jesse, and he's just like, I got this. But thank you to those three specifically, but to everybody else. Jesse brought a bunch of his family. My brother, John David, and Ashley, and the kids showed up, which just meant the world to me. Of course, we had all of our normal friend group there. Greg and Paul from iHeart showed up. That was great.
Yeah, Jason was there.
Yeah, it was just, and then Kelly and Jude.
God, Kelly and Jude. Jude's my new favorite human. That kid is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, so Kelly and I went to high school together and have stayed connected via social media, but really reconnected at my 30th high school reunion last year, and spent quite a bit of time together. And so she reached out and was like, we're coming to the parade. And she and Jude showed up, and Jude was just, he's the sweetest kid on the planet.
Yeah.
He was so excited to be there, so excited to meet us, and just grinning ear to ear. Just wanted pictures and, can I have a flag? I just loved it.
Yeah. And then, the week after, I saw Jude had a birthday party.
Oh,
so
yeah.
happy belated.
Yes.
And his birthday party looked funner than any of my birthday
Grease
parties.
themed party. Yes,
This
please.
kid is he's going to be somebody. He is
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. Jude, you're awesome. Kind of sad we weren't invited.
Yeah, Kelly, I'm a little worried about that. We invited you to the parade, but we didn't get
to our parade.
Yeah. But anyway.
No, that was so great. It was so good to meet them. It was just another heartwarming moment.
Yeah.
For that.
So thank you to everybody for that. The Pride parade was great. The festival was good. I'd spent very little time there, if I'm being completely honest, this year. I was so exhausted after the parade. But I did Brooklyn Bowl for QDP, which is the queer dance party. It was a really cool event that night.
It looked fun. I saw some videos on
Great
Instagram,
dancing.
and I'm like, what a great venue for
Yeah,
that.
Such a cool venue.
Drag shows. Heard the drag shows were phenomenal.
Drag shows were great. We did brunch on Sunday together. Wes and I and a group of our friends. We went to Germantown Cafe. As
GTC.
Good gosh, I love that place.
Yeah, it's so great.
So good.
Great little spot.
But
it's one of Reba's favorite spots.
Is it really?
So if y'all get to Nashville, go to Germantown Cafe. They'll take care of you. Yeah, she likes it there. That's what they say.
Thank goodness I was off that Monday, and I just was low levels, almost sad. Not in like a bad way, just like I had so much fun and happiness and stuff over the weekend that Monday I just felt, I was like, I don't know what this is. It's almost like when you go out and have just a crazy weekend, the next day you're slightly depressed, kind of slightly hungover. Yeah. Oh yeah. But I like that because it shows me how much fun I had, like how wonderful that weekend was, that I got sad because it was over.
Yeah. And what a great thing to reflect on.
Yeah.
And look forward to next year and those times between next Pride, the new friendships we formed, because we also went to the horse bar, Golden Pony.
Yes, we did.
Sam Graham was in the parade with us.
Yes, he was.
If you come to Nashville, you have to go to Germantown Cafe and Golden Pony. That is a must. And they have great cocktails, mocktails, have great food, great patio.
The best chicken tender sandwich on the planet, hands down. Period.
So, my gosh, it was so much fun to reflect. New friendships formed, and maybe we'll do it bigger and better next year. Never know.
Oh, I'm sure we will.
Sure we will.
I was inspired for sure after that. So
yeah, absolutely.
Well, anything else, babe?
I might run out in this heat. 113 heat index today.
Oh gosh.
I didn't say the weather at the beginning, so
I'm so glad you told me.
I had to fit it in.
That's why we have the air on blast.
It's all me and Mammer talk about is the weather nowadays. But yeah, man, I'm still reeling it in. Maybe I'll journal more about it. But
well,
thank you all for helping with the Pride Parade.
We appreciate it. We appreciate Nashville, the people who put on this Pride event. It was a really cool event. And if you get a chance in the future or anytime the rest of the year, if you get a chance to go to a Pride festival or Pride parade, I encourage you to do it with the right mindset. I think it's very important.
And I think anywhere you go, have the right mindset.
Yes, that's a good
point. Be open to things. Yeah. Maybe I'll be open if I go to New Orleans. I need to take that advice too.
Yeah.
Being around the straight pride they have down there. But I think having an open mind is amazing. You learn new things, you meet new people, and those people could change your lives.
Yeah,
absolutely.
All right, everybody. Well, we hope y'all have had a good week. Hope you have a good weekend whenever you're listening to this. And babe, I love you.
Love you, Phil.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride. See y'all. Thanks for listening to another episode of Two Bottles Deep. If you'd like to be a guest on the show or have a crazy show idea, email us at twobottlesdeep@gmail.com or hit us up on the old Instagram.
And we really do appreciate you listening to today's show. And when you get the chance, go back and listen to our other episodes, because Lord knows you have nothing better to do.